Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Setting the Atmosphere, the podcast. I am your host, Hippie Girl TK, Sangoma Anyi or Sakura, Unicorn Hippie, what area of life you know me in. We're back again with another episode. You guys know I'm always very excited to record authentically. So I will stumble over some words. You will hear my voice go up, and this isn't a stage thing for me. So that's what I love about my podcast. That I don't do any edits. I don't do anything really to it. I just upload it after I'm done with the download after I'm done speaking. So if you're new here, thank you so much. Welcome. Please go watch all of the other episodes. Watch the evolution of the pod and watch me evolve as well. You may see some familiar faces on there for some of my guests that I've had on there. We talked about some amazing topics, and there is more to come. I have some people in my life that I definitely want to sit down with and get their insight on a couple of different topics. Not just spiritual topics, but other life topics: dating, love, relationship, career, colorism, racism, feminism, misogyny, all kind of different things. So again, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. This episode is going to be a little bit interesting. So we are in Leo season still. Today is my baby brother's birthday. Shout out to my baby brother Stanley, little Stanley. Happy 30th birthday. He that big 3, okay? Happy 30th birthday, brother. I love you to the bone. You are so annoying. You are so aggravating. But nobody been not fuck with you ever, because then y'all gonna have to deal with me. So happy birthday. We are still in the midst of Leo season, and Leo season has been very fiery for me specifically. So I'm gonna assume that it's been like that for you. There's been some tension, there's been some hotness going on in so many spaces. And I'm ready for it to be wrapped up. We had Mercury retrograde during Leo season. We had the sturgeon moon, the full moon. That was very powerful. We had planet parades that were very powerful. Meteor shower, cosmic storms. Like when I say the month of August was jam packed and the odds were not in our favor. Things were just going down. So I do want to touch a little bit on that and what's been going on for me specifically. Just do a quick life update. I know like there's no episode out here that we're really deep diving into me personally or my personal business or my personal experience, but I did want to show some transparency about what I'm dealing with current moment in my life and how it's manifested. Hopeful in hopes that it's like a mirror to some things that you may have going on. That way you can understand and know that you're not crazy, and you don't have to feel alone within your journey with some of the thought processes and some of the things that are manifesting in your life. So we're going to do a little bit of that, and then I also have some prompts that I want you to think about based on this episode, based on the transformation that I'm going to be talking about, based on the rebirth that I'm going to be talking about. I do think I'm going to pull a few cards, and we just going to have a good time. So buckle up your seatbelt. We're about to ride. We're about to vibe. I don't have my incense going. I definitely got to get my incense going. I have a pink candle lit on my altar here. You guys cannot see, but oh wait, I can show you. Yeah, so this has been burning for about, I want to say like a week for sure. I lit this candle with the intention to invite in more self-love, and we'll get into why. Because the voices have been talking, and I don't mean like spirit, like doubt has been speaking, guilt, shame, all kind of different things have been speaking for me personally. So I needed to invite in a lot more self-love during this Leo season, during these last couple of months, because shift has happened. Speaking of shift, The first thing that I'm updating you guys on is that I have now exited my way out of corporate America. And anybody that's very close to me knows this journey of me being who I am, me being a light worker, me being a star seed, me being a healer, me being a divine feminine is super interesting, me in a professional workspace. And that's not to say like I'm super like earthy and like this at work. I maintain my professionalism, I speak well, I do my job, but it still rubs people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? It still is an interesting space because at this last job that I was at, management told me to my face that my energy was so big, like my energy's too big, and that I had the ability to sway the office, whether good or bad. And I don't think they like that. So in the midst of all of that, there was tension, there were things, and I know they felt a certain way about certain things that I was vocal about, that I stood up for myself about. And, you know, with that being said, we're back at it full time with a healing practice. Make sure you book me. Make sure you DM for your services, your questions, anything you have, because I had to realize within this, because I'm not going to lie, I was just like, I feel like everywhere I go, people reject me. And I was starting to take it personal and be like, what is this like? I'm such a good addition to anything, you know what I'm saying? And I believe that about myself. Like I said, I maintain a certain professionalism and I get shit done, you know what I'm saying? Me having this practice, me having this spiritual practice where I'm helping my community, I'm helping my people, does not take care of me in an earth sense. It takes care of me in a spiritual sense, and it's my legacy work. It's my life work. It's not a job. It's not a hobby. It's literally my legacy. So it's like I'm gonna have to do this regardless. But because we live in a 3D world, because we live in an earth, a physical earth, I know I need cash flow. I'm not living in the clouds that much to know that I need money to sustain certain attributes of this earth. So it's just like, you know, I feel like that's always going to be a challenge for me, because it's like I still was trying to condense myself to fit, you know, the narrative of the office space. And even with how I'm shaped, you know, how I look, you know, I could wear professional clothes and be covered up, but I'm still going to be a bad bitch. Like, I'm still going to look beautiful and polished and dressed up and still attract a certain type of energy too. So I feel like, you know, me being in these workspaces, sometimes like I mirror a lot other people's shadows, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just so confident in who I am. And then like when you work around people that are not confident in who they are, that see you as a threat, it's already hard enough that I'm a black woman, I'm a bald black woman, I'm a big black woman, and all these different things that play a part, you know what I'm saying? So the loss, the grief of grieving, like being in a space and then not being in a space, you know, with work, with relationships, cars, vehicles, houses. Like when there's a loss of anything, and it doesn't matter how you lost it, there's a grief period that has to happen. So it's like, spiritually, you know, when you sign a contract of any sort, it's upheld in the spiritual realm. So anybody doing any onboarding paperwork at their job, when they're signing certain contracts, when they work for someone, you're giving them some sort of ownership, you know, over you, especially while you're in that space. So it's like energetically there was friction anyways, because it's like the way my life set up, the way my manifestation set up, the way my ancestors set up, they're the only ones that's governing me, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like knowing how principalities work, knowing how energy works, knowing who I am as a person and how I show up for myself and how the world sees me. Being in corporate America, there is a grief period of me not working where I was just working 2 weeks ago. And it's been interesting, this in-between space. Because it's been a little scary. It's, you know, brought on some anxiety. I've been having some nighttime struggles with, you know, just figuring it all out. And I had to surrender to it, to the fear that came with it. And knowing like me standing up for myself was the right thing, and it's going to be the right thing to do all the time, no matter what you may lose in between. You know what I'm saying? You just have to go through that grief, go through that separation, and move on to the next thing. So that's like first things first. Like I said, the job ending and me, you know what I'm saying? It's a long story. I really won't get into it, but it's just like, now we're here with figuring out what works for my life right now in this transitional state that I've been in. And a certain responsibilities have changed for me. Me and my siblings take care of my mom. My mom is not completely well in her body. She's dealing with some health things, so it's like me, my brother, and my sister take care of my mom. And so that doesn't typically work out for corporate America. I'm a hands-on primary parent. That doesn't really work out for corporate America as well. So it's like all of those things with who I am and how I showed up, certain things that were happening in the workspace that I was not going for, that I spoke a lot about and was vocal about. Here we are. So going through the transition, 5 energy. If you've been seeing the number 5, if you feel like you've been going through a dark night of the soul this August, yes, this restart, this rebirth, has been an energy. You know what I'm saying? It's been out there. Last week also, last week, my daughter, well, she's in elementary school, and if there's like any kind of weather conditions, I have to go pick her up. So 3 or 4 days last week, I ended up having to go pick her up. One day I was leaving and I saw a butterfly carrying another butterfly, and I'm like trying to get my phone out, but also trying to like be in a moment and be like, okay, source, were you showing me this? Like, maybe it's not meant for me to get my phone out and try to record this. And I did end up recording it eventually, but I saw a butterfly carrying another butterfly. The other butterfly looked wounded. So I went and got my baby. We came back and she's like, Mommy, look, it's a butterfly carrying a butterfly. The butterfly was flying in between me and my daughter, flying really close to us. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I get so geeked when I see insects or nature and it's syncing up or showing me something that's interesting or that's not normal. And I'm just like always very excited, and my kids are too. And so I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe these butterflies waited to show Aria them too. And since Aria was been a baby, I always call her Butterfly. I have her depicted as a butterfly, and I always call my other daughter Nayali Kitty Cat. So that's Kitty Cat Butterfly. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So me and Ari come in the house, we're doing our afternoon routines and things like that. And then Nayali comes in, and the first thing she says was, Mommy, 13:03 on the clock while I'm telling you this, Mommy, guess what I just saw? A butterfly. And I'm like, carrying another butterfly? She's like, yes. Oh my God. So it's like Source showed me and my 2 daughters that for a reason. So I'm like, okay, transformation, metamorphosis, rebirth, because I have been snot crying for weeks, like no tomorrow, because I'm like, what is happening? Like mentally I can't take this, physically I can't take this, I have to be here, there, and everywhere. Like, what is my life look like? Because I thought I had it figured out. I thought it was going to be no more restarts and no more rebirths. I don't know why I thought that prematurely, because it's like I've advised other people that it's never not going to be a rebirth time. Rebirth is always coming because evolution is always happening. You're always going to be born again into something or restarting something to some degree. Rebirth is inevitable. Evolution is inevitable, and so is change. So if you're a person that is resistant to change, this last month has been hell for you. Because it's like sudden change freaks me out even. Like, that's when I go to staying up late at night and overthinking and conjuring up a panic attack, conjuring up an anxiety attack, because I'm freaking out. Like, why is this happening right now? Like, who orchestrated this? Like, I'm trying to find the deeper meaning and the deeper knowledge of why the sudden shift. You know what I'm saying? And that could be true for a lot of us in love, relationship, career, partnerships, friendships, family ships, even some health. You know what I'm saying? I picked that up this month too, that a lot of people are going through health issues. abruptly. And they're like, oh my gosh, where does this come from? And really focusing on wellness and really focusing on rehabilitating their physical body, because we are seeing certain things play out and manifest that we do not want to leave this earth with. You know what I'm saying? As far as sickness and ailments go, we're starting to see certain things in the bloodline that we do not want to rule and reign anymore. So it's like, it's making us be hyper focused in a chaotic way on just like everything. You know what I'm saying? We're being very cautious, but we don't realize that we're bringing on that anxious energy because we're so engulfed in the chaos. You know what I'm saying? That we're almost inviting it during this time. So that's what's been going on with me, as well as like, I'm never really shared here on this platform. I know I made a couple jokes when I do episodes with my sisters and or Shannon or whatever in our group chat. We talk all about it, but it's like dating has been a huge hot topic this month. I've seen it on social media, Facebook, TikTok. We're still talking about these men and women wars, this masculine and feminine energies, and being oppositional of each other. So I can only share my experience. And it's just, for me, someone who has been single for 4 years, about 4 and some change now, I am obviously learned to be cool with being by myself. But that doesn't mean that the desire of me wanting some type of partnership with somebody isn't there. But not at the expense of like losing my sanity like I did before. So I've been doing a lot of releasing and a lot of clearing from karmic partners and karmic relationships. And with that being said, I'm just going to be transparent. Old lovers are coming up, are reaching out, are texting. And that typically always happens around retrograde. But these are after, like, I would say explosive debates or explosive conversations or deal-breaking conversations. They just coming up out of the blue in interesting ways in which I've never seen before. I just ran into, one at the mall, and he dodged me. Like, my daughter saw him first, and then when I saw him, I was just like, and then like he vanished, like into thin air, real shit. So I'm like, he had to go back to his car. He had to be like, nah, I don't want to deal with this, because it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like, for me, I'm not a type of woman that's going to brush anything under the rug. Like, if it's a conversation that we need to have, we either having that conversation or we're not. And I'm also learning not to be really confrontational, meaning like, I don't need closure, so we don't have to have a conversation. But don't think you can say shit else to me. Okay? You heard me? Oh, okay. So it's just like, desiring to be a part of some type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, loneliness happens when you're going through dark night of the soul. Like, you're in this isolation, you're on this healing journey. You know what I'm saying? It's already hard enough emotionally, but it's like, those are the times where you really want somebody to call, you want somebody to talk to, you want to go lay in somebody else's bed, you want to go be up under somebody, you want to go you just want to, have a break from it all, with someone of the opposing energy. So it's just like, going through that too, and being a spirit being and understanding my own energy and my own essence, and realizing like, that might not be as close as I thought it was, or it could be. I could be totally in my head about it, and the love of my life could be like around the corner. But I say all that to say, like, I'm still in that space of like, yeah, like I want it, but I'm okay without it, because it's like, I'm still not settling. Like, I get cussed out so many times a week because I'm just not going for shit. You got to talk to me the right way, or don't talk to me at all. Like, I'm never bending it like Beckham on that. I'm never breaking when it comes to that. I had a dude tell me, he was like, oh, what I got to do to get you out of town or to one of these countries? That's the first shit he said to me. Like, that was the introduction. And I'm not saying anything because, hi. That's it. Like, how are you wanting me to travel with you and go somewhere with you and you can't even tell me, hey? This man was like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. It's not that deep. Greetings, sir. Find somebody to play with. I'm never courting with nobody, never talking to nobody, never interested in nobody that just doesn't have common decency. I don't give a shit what you got going on in your life, how good or of a bad person that you may be, what type of upbringing you got. If you can't, to me, say good morning, how are you, or greet me or respect me when it comes to communication, why the fuck would I go anywhere with you? I wouldn't go to Starbucks with you. Because it starts there. I've been self-identifying when things that happen that are troublesome in a relationship. I learned that when that shit start unfolding, that's not the first time it happened. It doesn't catch you like, oh my god, you've never done that before. Yes, the fuck they have. You just decided to skip past that part because you were cool with the love bombing. You were cool with the trips. You were cool with the gifts. You were cool with getting your back blown out to where you let them disrespect you. So now that y'all live together and y'all in the house and homeboy waking up not saying anything to you, it's like, you act like I'm not even here. He's done that shit before. I'm not gonna even tolerate it off of a DM. When you get in that motherfucking DM, it better have a hey in front of it. It better have a good morning. It better have a hi, how are you? Some type of greeting. Or that's just where it's gonna stop. With me, I gotta be like that because I've been in these situations where it wasn't a big deal and then it manifested into something even bigger. I'm not going through that anymore. So I say all that to say, exes are spinning the block. Exes are, coming up, situationships, all of that. Stay strong, my sisters and my brothers. I don't know what you're going to do with that energy. I just told y'all what I'm going to do with that energy. I'm going with the flow. And that means it's like, I'm going to treat you how you treat me. You know what I'm saying? You start asking for stuff, I'm sorry asking for stuff. You be surface level, I'm just going to exit. You know what I'm saying? I've just been letting people cancel themselves out because I promise you I'm not looking like, you don't want to be consistent. We're not having a conversation about you being consistent because you know what the fuck that looks like. Because you were consistent at one point when that cat was up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as soon as a motherfucker go to being weird, I start getting with her. I start getting real ghosty. I start embodying my actual spirit body and being invisible. Not doing it with y'all. So it's like, karmic lessons have been a theme. Karmic relationships, karmic friendships, and just these karmic situations that are coming back around to remind us of our own journey and where we are in our healing journey. It's really a measurement because I'm a firm believer that you're never fully healed. You know what I'm saying? Once there's a scar, there's a scar. I don't care how light you make it, how much aloe you put on it, nothing like that. It's still there. But it's a measurement of how far you've gotten in your healing journey, whether that's through grief, through any forms of abuse, abandonment, any trauma, emotional trauma, mental instability, trauma that comes from racism, colorism, all kind of different things. There's levels to that healing. We're never going to be fully healed from racism as a black people. Oh, I'm healed from racism. That doesn't bother me. It's still happening, especially if stuff is still happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like reaping and sowing is all over this. Karmic situations are all over this Leo season, and the fire that comes with Leo season, because Leo is a fire sign. A lot of things have been getting burnt out, or a lot of things need to be burnt out, meaning put to death by fire, a smoking out, ring the alarm, call the police. It's an urgency on it because it's like in this next season when we're going into Virgo season, we got to be in our grounded energy. We need to be settled. We're going to be getting nestled in, settled in, all snugly. The fall season is coming up. So it's just like some of the stuff that's coming up through rage, through anger, through fire, through loss, through grief, through abandonment, through rejection, roots of rejection is happening for a reason. And that way, that's so we can deal with it, so we can get settled with the idea of what that looks like as we go throughout the rest of this year and throughout the seasons, following the seasons with our journey. coming into the fall again, getting grounded, things falling off, you being released from certain things and certain timeline shifts, so we can go into this hibernation with the winter coming up and really go within and sit with self. And that way when spring comes, we can pop out, and when summer comes, we can get back hot. So that's why I love to follow the elements, and I absolutely honor Mother Earth and Gaia, because elemental magic and manifestations is real. It's how our indigenous people, no matter where you come from, really flowed with the earth, really flowed with nature and being in tune with self. So for me, with everything that I got going on, with the loss, with the grief, with just transition and having to readjust and be uncomfortable and deal with these karmic situations and making sure that I'm taking these lessons, that's just where I am. I'm not perfect. I never intended to be. I've been getting so many downloads from spirit. I'm like, what's going on with me? Because I got people to send to God, like you, and he's like, yeah, you got people to send to, and you still got to do this. So it is what it is. Another thing that has come up for me, just a quick update, like, I don't have friends. I have a friend in Las Vegas that's my best friend from college. My sister is my best friend. Shannon is my friend, and everybody else just associates. I do have some people that are near and dear to my heart, that I call my sisters and stuff like that, but it's like, I have really did a Rico sweep when it came to certain friend groups or certain people that I was associated with too, this summer. And it was just been so freeing to not feel obligated to show up for people that never showed up for me. So setting boundaries has been a theme this month as well, and not giving away access just because, you know what I'm saying? Making people earn the right to be in your life, making people show you with proof and stability and consistency that they deserve to be around you, that they deserve to be fed from you, that they deserve your energy, and you reciprocate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a one-way street, but it's like some of us have given away access prematurely just because there's no real rhyme or reason behind it. So it's like just remembering about access, remembering about boundaries, and what that happened the last time you gave some shit away. Okay, don't let people play with your access. It is a big deal to be attached to you. It is a big deal to have your phone number and be able to call you. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of the night, because you're gonna do what you got to do as a friend, as a partner, as a homeboy, as a homegirl, as a sister, as a brother, as a mom, or as a dad. So it's like you need to require that same energy back and stop letting people treat you any kind of way or have access to you. Start pulling back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's what this season is telling us too. Not to build walls and close off, but set up healthy boundaries for yourself and for other people. Okay? Don't stop letting people play with you. Because, you don't want to hear about it. You don't want to have to keep praying about the same thing. So self-love, like I said, was a thing too with this boundary setting. People claim to like, oh, I love myself, this and that. Oh, this is my me time, I'm in my soft girl era, but it's like it doesn't line up with their life, because it's like you still allowing the same man to disrespect you. So you don't really love yourself, because if you knew your worth, you wouldn't keep letting that happen, or you wouldn't keep letting your homegirl play in your face, like do this whole back and forth thing. Like every time you try to have a real moment about what's going on with y'all friendship, it's always, deflection, and so it's like self-love goes hand in hand with boundaries, goes hand in hand with access, goes hand in hand when you're dealing with those karmic people that are trying to spin the block. Whether you ignore them, don't say anything, y'all have some confrontational talk or whatever the case may be. People have been having to make it plain for me. I'm not playing word games with nobody. You have to say what you mean and mean what you say. And I'm always a person that likes to clarify. I'm a card reader, so there's always clarification. Pull another card. What do you mean by that? Pull another card, another card, another card. Because I need to know what you mean. I don't like playing wordplay with people. And don't make me fish for the answer. I'm not working hard for shit no more, especially love, especially friendship. Why would I sit here and have to try to pull it out of you what you want to say to me? I'm going to say what I need to say to you. You need to do the same thing. I'm not playing. If that means I got to be by myself for another 4 years, so be it. Amen. Glory. Okay? we're wrapping up here. I'm going to pull a couple cards to go with the theme of this little update and this little download that I just gave you guys. So we just thank you, Spirit, for the sacred space. Give me a couple cards in the area of karmic lessons, boundaries, transformation, metamorphosis, changing. We also got the black moon coming up August 23rd, which is Shannon's birthday. Virgo, marking Virgo season. Virgo season's coming up. I had a Virgo and I had a Leo. One of my daughters is a Virgo, one of my daughters is a Leo. So right now they back to back with the shits. You know, I also have a lot of Leos around me. My ex-husband is a Leo. My bonus daughter is a Leo. Like I said, my brother is a Leo. My nephew, is a Leo. He's actually a portal baby. 8/8 is when he was born. He's just had his first birthday. So it's just like, you know, that energy has been suffocating me. And I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for this grounded energy. I'm ready for you know, to connect back to the earth in a huge way. Hopefully it'll start to cool down so I can be outside more, because it's been hot as hell. So we shall see. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? What are we releasing in love and relationships, Spirit? What are you asking us to prepare for? Ooh, I like this. So Spirit is saying that we need to prepare for a sweet life. Enjoy, delight, and pleasure. Okay, with this piece of look like strawberry cake or red velvet cake, whatever your favorite cake is, that's what it is. This is having your cake and eating it too. This is dating them all. This is not stretching yourself too thin. This is you playing for keeps, okay? However you interpret that, but we need to enjoy ourselves. We need to delight in pleasure and know that pleasure is meant to be felt. Don't tell me y'all still out here preaching and teaching about pleasure and intimacy, and we're not sensually diving into self before we're giving our body to other people, right? We ain't still doing that. We got to understand this vessel. We got to understand how our sensuality and how our sweet spots work before we go giving it away to other people. Stop giving away your cake, is what Spirit is asking us. How are we honoring ourselves when we're giving away all of our cake? Yeah, we can't do that. So I like that message. We can have I am a light out here. You are a bright soul. And this is your spirit body with all of this light just pushing through you. All of this light is around you. You got the world at your feet preparing you, because you are light. You are source energy. You were created to be. So it's like no matter what's happening right now within this in-between space that we're shifting in and out of, you are light. You got to remember that, okay? So when darkness is happening around you, it's only because you are light. If you were darkness, that darkness wouldn't even bother you. But because you are light, because you are a good person, because you are trying, because you have good intentions, because you want to heal, you have a desire to be happy, you have a desire to leave toxicity and negativity behind, and you have to make that agreement with yourself. You have to make that agreement with God that you're ready to be a conduit of light, a generator of light, a transmuter of light. I hope I said that right. You have to harness your powers and sit with yourself and sit with your gifts to know how to move them and maneuver them and manipulate the energy and the forces within your light for your highest good. For you to get out of despair, for you to get out of poverty, for you to get out of abuse, for you to get out of your own head, for you to get out of lack and procrastination, for you to get out of debt. You know what I'm saying? That's what Source wants us to know as well. My cousin Kimani did my nails. Love these green claws. They give me very Earth Mama vibes. You know I'm a Taurus baby, so Tauruses love green. They're dope. I love them so much. I've never gotten stilettos before, but I love it, especially when I'm doing my cards and making my content look real good. family tree is coming out here. So source is definitely wanting us to focus on family, or even what that is or what that looks like, or what do you think of when I just said family. Family tree is coming out here. So your connectedness to your family and what that toxicity looks like needs to be dealt with. Childhood trauma is coming up this Leo season. Okay, it's happening. It's happening. With my clients that I've had services and sessions with myself, with the people around me, childhood trauma is coming up to the surface because we need to deal with our roots. We need to deal with our family tree. We need to deal with the things that nobody wants to talk about. You are the generational curse breaker, poo. That's what source wants you to know. Is you. Is you. Is you. Is you. Is you. You can't escape it. You the one, so you have to be the one. You have to be the rose that emerges through the concrete and deal with this family, these roots of rejection, this roots of abandonment, this feminine toxicity with the mothers and the aunts of the family and the grandmothers, the abandonment from the fathers in the family. Like we have to deal with that. It says you are connected to your ancestors, meaning calling your ancestral help to deal with your family stuff. You can't deal with your family stuff by yourself. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a level of support and connectedness to the ancestors, whether you want to call in your angels or you want to call in your actual lineage, depending on where you are in your spirituality. Both of them work. Call them in for assistance. Call them in to help them deal with the harder energies in certain family members that, you know, you need to call in a reinforcements. You need a miracle to happen. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that that's there for you, and learning how to utilize that, and that's going to cause you to do some memory recall and go back and deal with certain situations that happen in your family in secrecy that no one is supposed to know about, the things that were never talked about, the things that you kind of just brush under the rug has to come to the surface for you to be able to be rooted and grounded in the love that you want to put out there, and rooted and grounded in the love that you want to provide for your children, that you want to provide for the new lineage, the new blood, the new generation, after you done broke these curses, after you done broke these chains, by simply just saying, no, we're not going to deal with that. Or, yes, we're about to deal with this. Depends on the situation, okay? Those are your 3 cards. We got Sweet Life, I Am Light, and Family Tree. Okay, so again, I did want to give you a couple of thought-provoking prompts on transformation and release, love and dating, and then self-alignment. So I'll just go through them. Certain ones will stick out to you. You can answer them all, write them down, journal them, keep them in your head, record a voice note, however you want to do it. But I'm just going to just put some things out there to get you guys thinking about what's going on in this time. So for on transformation and release, what parts of me are spirit asking me to shed, just like the butterfly shedding its cocoon? Metamorphosis, change. What parts of you is source saying you need to change that about yourself? Those are the hardest lessons. That type of shadow work, hardest shit ever. Where in my life am I still holding on to something spirit already told me to release? We're just gonna bypass that one. How do I usually respond when doors close? With resistance or with trust? If my own questions don't get out of my business, because I'm gonna, yeah. On love and dating, it says, when someone from my past reaches back out, what emotions does it stir in me? Longing, curiosity, or reminder of my growth? Be for real. Do I feel honored and respected in the way that this person approaches me? Or do I feel like an option? Anyways, what boundaries do I need to set so that my heart, time, and energy are protected? This is all going to come from discernment, sis, babe, homeboy. This is all going to come from discernment when you're answering these, like, or when you're dealing with these situations. Like when these people reach back out to you, when they're like, oh, I just want to be around you, I miss you, you smell so good. When they do all that, what is your discernment telling you to do in these situations? What boundaries, dog? What? Anyways, am I accepting crumbs or am I leaving room for the fullness of love that Spirit promised me? How can I show myself the same love and consistency I expect from a partner? Oh, you see? You see why it's been 4 years. Because it's like, if I truly answer those right now, nobody would be able to text my phone. Nobody. Don't text me. On self-love and alignment, the prompts are, what rituals or practices make me feel most aligned with my work? Don't get afraid of that word, ritual or practices. Don't just take your son to football practice. Be for real. What do you do on a daily basis that make you feel most aligned with your work? How do you connect to your deeper meaning, to your deeper person, to your highest self? How do you connect? What do you do every day? If you don't do something every day, you need to. You need a ritual. You need a practice. Okay? When it comes to this healing journey, you need to be consistent with you. You want that man to be consistent, but you're not consistent with you. How do I know when a relationship feels aligned with spirit versus when it feels like a lesson repeating? How do I know when a relationship feels aligned with spirit versus when it feels like a lesson repeating? And that's when I get frustrated and I will ghost you. If it feel like I'm repeating something, I'm like, this is not going to work. Yeah, it's not you, it's me. For real. I can't with this. No. This feels very familiar. I don't like the way this shit going. Simple as that. We need to normalize that. We should normalize that. Actually, that's so frowned upon. Like, I get so much backlash when I take some motherfucker that they like, really? You listen. Would you have rather me painfully stuck around to not like you, to realize that I just don't like you, and that we're just not lining up because it feels like I'm repeating a lesson that's so traumatic to me, and you just want me to stay in this willy-nilly? Because for what? Babe, we don't know each other. We've been having a conversation for 4 days. And I've seen all I need to see here. We've conversed about it. We've conversated about it. Like, no. We're not doing it. If I fully trusted Spirit's timing and love, what would I no longer settle for today? We talk about trust. You know, that thing you don't have. If I fully trusted Spirit's timing and love, what would I no longer settle for today? I don't know, babes. Those are your journal prompts. Write them down. Please give me feedback. Like and share this episode. I know to me it felt like I was rambling, but I feel like I'm just talking to my best homegirls and homeboys. I'm sending you guys so much light, so much love, clarity, and comfort. Sending you guys so much warmth. Thank you for sitting with me for these 40-something minutes. We're at 43 minutes right now. And I just really appreciate our energetic exchanges. I know that I'm an interesting energy. And I know there's so many YouTube podcasts and so many creators. So for anyone to even like scroll across my shit, I'm very grateful for even the small contact. Super blessed. I'm going to roll a number with my divination dice. Yes, I said divination. And see what frequency we have out here as we close out this episode. All right, Spirit, what number we got for the collective? We have a double and we have 2 or 11. However you interpret it. Take that number how it resonates. We're at 44 minutes exactly. So I'm going to take that as a sign and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And thank you for watching this episode. Have a nice day. Bye.